Hey, what's up guys? Chris here, and today I am going to be taking a look at the pros and cons of Bethesda's first piece of downloadable content for Fallout 4, Automatron. So I'm just going to do a little bit of what I liked and what I didn't like. So obviously the biggest part of this downloadable content is putting the focus on automatrons and robots and things like that. And obviously one of the big pros is that it adds in new crafting elements, which comes with a catch. The crafting elements allow you to build a robot workbench and allows you to build and customize your very own personal robot. Now, the one catch here is you're probably only going to level up once or twice while doing the DLC. Now that's going to be a problem because some of the higher end crafting elements require you to have a high intelligence and a high science, which you may not have on your initially created character. If you have all the required perks that you need, great. If not, you're probably not going to get the crafting experience that you want. You may have to go out in the world and try to level up your character a little bit better. But having said that, the new crafting elements are cool, and the robots are cool, and you can kind of customize them in your own, any way you want, and they're kind of cool to have as a companion. So overall, I would probably give that a thumbs up. Another thing I really liked about it is that it wasn't a cakewalk. Even higher level characters, I'm a level 43, and I had some trouble with certain spots of this DLC. One of my other pros is that it introduced two wicked new dungeons, and I would probably say, and I might get a little bit of heat back in the comments for this, but the two dungeons are probably the best two dungeons in the entire game. They're really well done. There's lots of cool loot to get in them. And yeah, they're not easy. I mean, it's hard, and that's what you want in a DLC. At this point, most people who have put any amount of time into this game should be level 40 or higher. So you want a bit of a challenge, and this definitely, as a level 43, gave me a bit of a challenge at certain spots. Another big pro for me is that it introduces a new villain, the Mechanist, and I always like when downloadable content introduces a new villain. That was one of the cool things I liked about some of the downloadable content that came with Skyrim. When you did the Dawn Guard quest, it introduced the vampires, and you had a couple new villains there, and they've done the same thing here. The Mechanist is a new villain. He has his own personality. He's kind of cool. Obviously they put some thought into it, and yeah, it definitely gives the downloadable content a little bit of meat. And that brings me to my two big cons, and my two big cons are kind of hand in hand. It's not very long. A lot of people are going to not like the fact that it is 2.5 to 4 hours long, depending on how long you take, looting the areas and how meticulous you are with that kind of stuff. It took me just a shade over 3 hours to complete the DLC, and like I said, I still have to go back and loot some of the areas out as well. And along with that, in a 2.5 to 3 to 4 hour DLC, you don't really have a very deep story. I didn't really feel any superior attachment to any of the characters that were introduced. I mean, it was kind of cool. Obviously, we're going to see a greater story arc with the Far Harbor DLC that's going to come out, which is going to be obviously the big meaty piece. But again, it is something I kind of did expect a little bit more of the story, and I really, like I said, I just didn't feel any attachment to the characters whatsoever. Overall, I would definitely say it's worth the $10 if you did not buy the season pass. Just because it is fun, it's challenging, it does introduce some cool new elements to the game. I definitely would think it's worth the $10. Anyway, let me know what you guys think of the Automatron DLC down in the comments below. And until next time, peace.